Now let's get on to our next bit on the Africa Daily Show, and that is headlines across Africa. Don't go.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Well, today we'll be going to Zambia, Tunisia, and Mozambique. So we'll be starting from Mozambique, where we'll be reading from the Noticias newspaper.
Okay. Noticias.
Yes.
What's the headline looking like?
Not pleasant at all.
Okay.
But yeah, so destruction and death. Alois left deep marks on Manica.
Who that may be?
Well, one person died of a collapsed house wall and another contracted serious injuries in about 2,200 homes and 30 public buildings, social and private, were destroyed as a result in Manica, the passage of tropical cyclone Alois, which Saturday shook the center of the country and the north of the provinces of Inhamaben and Gaza.
Right.
The phenomenon was characterized by torrential rains accompanied by strong winds and severely affected 4 districts of the province, namely Makati, Susudenga, Mosuriz, and Mashaze. Well, preliminary data advanced by the National Institute of Disaster Risk Management and Reduction (INGD) in Manica indicate that 2,121 families, which make up 10,339 people, were left in the open due to the destruction of their homes in the 4 districts. INGD spokesman in Manica, Crimildo Quembo, said that in addition to public and private homes and infrastructure, the storm felled large trees which blocked access roads and broke poles and electrical cables, cutting off electricity supplies in the Mosurize, Mashaze, and Dombe administrative post districts in Susudenga. Not really the best, because the cyclone also destroyed an area of 16,320 hectares of corn crops, affecting more than 5,000 peasants who saw their crops being swallowed up by the waters.
Well, the damage has been done, unfortunately. The comeback is what we would be looking forward to see, right? How they would be supported, because it's not an easy thing to lose a loved one and then see your property and whatever it is that you've accumulated over a period of time go just like that. So, yeah.
Well, he also said that INGD and the district government are working together to allocate tents to accommodate families.
Okay.
As some schools will open the doors to make room for students who will take the final exams of the 7th, 10th, and 12th grade, respectively.
Right.
Now, the administrator of Makati also made known that the rivers that pass through the district are with water levels above normal. Therefore, she calls on the population to not make themselves available to these places at the risk of being attacked by crocodiles or being dragged by the current.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a reliever.
Yeah, because, as soon as the banks overflow, the crocodiles were dragged and now they are on the banks. And these are places that the population should withdraw.
Shouldn't be.
They usually go there to get water. To drink, to wash and things. So they're advising them against going there. If you don't want to come across
And I think on the
crocodile.
path of this, since they actually go to a place like this to get water, why not provide them with, a permanent, water supply?
I think they should first settle the people, the
Yeah.
homeless
After
situation
bringing
first.
all of these things together, that's
Yeah.
more of like another issue they would definitely need to,
Look at
address.
yeah.
Yes. But yeah.
Not so. We have them in prayers. Wherever you are,
Absolutely.
if you find yourself there too, and your district wasn't affected, and you feel you could do something.
Oh yeah.
Please do well to
Extend
reach out
a
to
helping
them.
hand.
Exactly.
It's very good.
Now, moving on to Tunisia, we'll be reading from the La Presse Tunis newspaper, and the headline says ARP president condemns verbal violence by 2 Democratic Bloc's MPs against Al Karama coalition MPs.
Okay.
Lengthy headline.
I know.
Well, the president of the Assembly of People's Representatives, ARP, Rached Ghannouchi, strongly condemned the tangible verbal violence carried out by the members of the Democratic Bloc Anor Ben Shahed and Munira Ayari against several members of the Al Karama coalition during the regrettable incidents in Parliament on 7 December.
Right.
Now, in a statement issued late on Tuesday night at the end of the plenary session devoted to the vote of confidence in the ministers proposed in the last reshuffle,
Okay.
it stated that this sentence refers to the investigative report of the team whose creation was ordered to determine responsibilities as well as on the basis of available recordings and testimonies.
Okay.
Now, such incidents must not happen again, the PRA president stressed in the statement, calling on MPs to comply with the internal rules and stick to the principles of parliamentary action and ethics in the assembly.
Right.
In a statement issued on 15th January, the president of the ARP condemned physical violence by members of the Al Karama coalition
Okay.
against elected representatives of the Democratic Bloc. The attack is a serious first that should not be repeated, he said.
Right.
And following the statement of the president of the ARP, the hunger strikers of the Democratic Bloc decided to suspend their strike.
Okay.
So it turns out on 10th January 2021,
Yeah.
MP Samia Abu went on hunger strike to call on the ARP president to assume his responsibilities and issue a statement denouncing the violence and its perpetrators.
Right.
She was then joined on a hunger strike by other elected members of the Democratic Bloc, which is Amal Saidi, Ziad Ghani, and Munira Ayadi.
Right.
I
Okay.
think verbal violence in the political field is, for here in our base Ghana, is not something that...
I was about to ask
you-
you.
you-
Does
you-
it sound familiar?
It is familiar. It's something you get used to, but I don't think it's something that should be condoned.
Encouraged,
Yes.
exactly.
Especially looking at the offices these people actually
They
occupy,
occupy, yeah.
and the kind of responsibilities that are being placed upon them. Finally, we'll be reading from the Lusaka Times in Zambia, and the headline simply says, Church funeral gatherings must be restricted. Lusaka Province PS.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Elias Kamanga is concerned that churches and funerals have continued to be super spreaders of COVID-19 and has called for restricting to such public gatherings. Now, Mr. Kamanga notes that the death of a number of the clergy is evidence to the disease being in the church as well.
Okay. Right.
Now, he believes more needs to be done in places of worship to ensure the adherence to health guidelines. Speaking during a virtual COVID-19 multi-sectorial committee meeting yesterday, Mr. Kamanga noted that people have continued to gather in large numbers in churches and funerals. This is the case even when the disease is reported to have died from COVID-19. People will be at funerals in large numbers disregarding the health guidelines, he said. Now, the provincial permanent secretary urged local authorities in the province to ensure that not more than 50 people attend funerals. And Lusaka City Council LCC town clerk Alex Mwasa said the council has been overwhelmed with the demand for disinfection of both public and private infrastructure. Mr. Mwasa noted that the council is not able to meet the demand due to inadequate logistics. We have been overstretched in terms of fuel and chemicals. We need other stakeholders to come on board to render assistance. We've been writing to stakeholders to supplement the services, he said.
Okay.
Well, the Provincial Health Director, Consisti Mwale, says there may be the need to engage the private sector to offer fumigation services as a business. Well, not really the best of stories as well, but I think everybody should do well to adhere to the health guidelines. It's just for their safety.
Yep. Absolutely. Strict measures would have to be put in place.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I was actually impressed this morning. I mean, the public transport I boarded, everyone had a mask. I'm like, okay, gradually.
But it's good.
Very. Okay.
That's all we have for headlines
across Africa. Thank you. Log on to africaglobalradio.com for more interesting, intriguing headlines from different African countries on africaglobalradio.com.